Morning, folks. Welcome to another episode of whatever this is. Today, I am going to attempt to do some actual real labor. I have a few reviews on things that I've recently bought, and I'll just talk about them real quick. And then I'm going to jump right into working on the trans. I was driving this summer and I kind of accidentally shifted into reverse and grinded up my reverse gear, so I'll be changing that. But firstly, basically testing a few things today. I got this shiny new GoPro that I'm going to try instead of using my phone, because I find that making videos with my phone kind of sucks. So right off the bat, I guess first thing to talk about would be the shiny new display I put in my car, which would be the Holley 5-inch display. I got really sick of the 3.5 inch. I mean, it was a good little display for what it was, but I wanted something a little bit bigger for my vitals. And what really sold me on this was the fact that it came with a GPS cable that I could plug into the back of it, and then it would give me an accurate readout for my speedometer. Super nifty little feature. Like I said, it was the selling point. This is the cable that comes with it, and as you can see, it's currently not installed. In a nutshell, they made this brass little fitting that's absolutely garbage. I went to go mount it on my windshield just to try it, and it comes with the windshield mount, comes with everything you need for that. And I plugged it in, and when I went to go and install it, it literally just touched the windshield and snapped off. It's extremely brittle. It's not tough. The whole kit cost me about 700 bucks Canadian. And then when I went to call Holley and tell them, hey, like, I barely even touched this against the windshield, and it snapped off. It's like garbage. They turned around and told me that because I'm the one who broke it, it's not covered under warranty, and figure it out. So I wasn't too pleased on that, but that would also send me on the next leg of my adventure, where I'm going to try and tackle in another video, is how to set up the sensor in the T56 to read out on my Terminator X. Now, my Terminator X is not an X Max, and apparently there is a way to do it. I've seen several videos, but the problem is that the sensor that's in the T56 is not compatible with Holley, so you have to buy a Hall sensor, which I'll get into in a little bit. But anyways, we'll do the review on the screen. So this here's the new screen. It's pretty fancy. It's got 3 different display screens. I think you can change. Yeah, there's this one, and there's this one. This GPS speed, that's kind of what I bought the whole thing for, just because the T56 does not have a mechanical speedometer for the car, so, but I can't use it anyways. So pretty nifty little gizmo gadget. I like the way it's mounted in here. It just kind of sits perfect. That's where my 3.5 inch display was, but I don't know. I'd have to say, if you have a really good mounting location for it and you are extremely careful with the cable, it's a good buy, especially if you have a more modern transmission where you absolutely have to have a speedometer. I don't have a speedometer in the car. I've just been using my phone. On to the next thing I wanted to review today was, well, I got new rims for the car, but they're not here yet, so that'll be a different video. But anyways, the engine, as most people have been following me, I know my page is more kind of more geared towards people wanting to do LS to the LT head swap, and then there's a few people that kind of just follow the page for the other stuff I'm doing. So yeah, the LT head swap was fantastic and all that stuff, but I supercharged the whole thing. And the most recent thing I did was I changed the upper pulley to a 2.25, and I changed the bottom pulley from the LS truck, which is 7 3/4, to 8.1. I think it's supercharged Camaro, and then I upgraded to the 8 rib because the issue I was having a pile of belt slippage. In a regular LSA application, normally the supercharger has its own designated pulley, whereas I'm running all my accessories and the supercharger on one belt just because it's a completely custom setup, and I honestly don't know how I would have done it otherwise. With measuring everything, there's the two different snouts for the LT4 supercharger, and this is the shorter one. The longer one would be way too long, and because it's made for LT, none of the LS accessories would line up. Everything would have to be on spacers. And then the short snout, as you can see, I've actually had to bring the pulley out quite a bit. I haven't tried a car setup like an LS1 setup or anything. This is just the standard truck setup, which works fine for me, and if it's working, I'm not changing it. Next would be, I guess I'll talk a little bit about the transmission and what's going to happen. So basically, I'm pulling the transmission out today, and it's not going to be very fun. And I will not bother putting that in the video because it'll just be me cursing and swearing a whole bunch, and nobody really needs to see that. But the whole plan is that I'm going to install the new reverse gear, which I'll make a short video of the teardown of the transmission, just because there's some stuff I wanted to talk about it. I honestly don't even know if anybody else has ever done it, but my T56 is a mechanical clutch. I absolutely did not want having a hydraulic clutch. It's such a pain in the ass, and I just don't like it. So I'll scoot under the car real quick because I have it on jack stands right now, and I'll show you guys to an extent what I did. You can't really see anything until I actually have the transmission off, which I'll do in another video when I tear it apart, change the reverse gear. I'll show you exactly what I did to make it work with a Z-bar setup. But, oh god, you can see here, there is my clutch linkage right there. This bell housing I got off of eBay, and it was, I think, 130 bucks. And it's the newer style bell housing. So you have the older style bell housing for the T56. This is a GM T56. And what it is the older style has the slave cylinder built in to the bell housing. Well, it's not built in, but it's just like a big hump on it. And this one is designed for just a hydraulic bearing pusher, whatever it's called. I think it's like the thrush bearing, whatever. So I got this one, and it basically has just two holes on the side for the lines to go in. So all I did was cut a square out for my clutch fork, and then I made a plate that I put a pivot ball on, and then from there I think I got just the shaft sleeve off of, I think it was like a Ford Mustang T56, something like that. I don't remember exactly, but I'll go more depth when the thing's actually off. But yeah, it's a really interesting setup, and I absolutely love having a manual or mechanical clutch on this car, just because I just don't like the feel of a hydraulic clutch. I guess I'm just kind of old school like that. But anyways, moving forward, I guess we'll talk about the modifications I'm going to do to this thing. Oh god. So, Tick Performance apparently is the only ones that make this sensor, and I've watched on the internet a couple videos on how to add a speedometer sensor to the T50 or to the Terminator X programming. I've actually done it, but unfortunately I haven't had the chance to test it yet. So this is the sensor. This is a Hall sensor, so they call it, and I got it from Tick Performance. And you have to be careful because there is the Magnum T56, and then there's the GM T56. Two completely different sensors, look the same. But anyways, this thing was, I think, 100 bucks, and this will convert the signal from the reluctor wheel in the T56, the GM T56, to Hall sensor type signal, which apparently Holley EFI can read. Apparently, you don't have to take the transmission apart. This is basically a bolt in, wire up, away you go. But I have to take the transmission apart anyways to change my reverse gear, so is what it is. But yeah, that's about it. So I guess I'll make another video shortly when I get the transmission out, and we're going to install the sensor, check for clearances, change the reverse gear, and then I'll probably slap it back in. I'm really hoping to get my rims on so I can see what this thing looks like with it. I got Krager Soft 8. I kind of wanted to make the car more old school. A lot of people tell me my rims look nice, but I just kind of got sick of them. Reason the first is that they look more race car-y. They're 1998 or 99 Camaro SS, and nice looking rims, but I just don't feel they suit this older car. Also, reason number 2 for getting rid of them was the offset of these rims, and that is horrendous. And I don't know if you can see in there. I got a flashlight. There we go. Yeah, so I have 3.5-inch wheel spacers in the back of this thing, just to make these rims sit where they're supposed to. I don't particularly like that. It was fine when the car didn't make so much power, but now that I'm up there in power, I feel like this is a weak point, and I'm not really particularly a fan of it. So it'll just be correct rims, correct offset, no more spacers, done with that, that's it. Really would like to get this car to a dyno, but that's impossible because as of today it started snowing. Thank God I live in the northern hemisphere. But yeah, stay tuned. I'll see if I can make some more videos and try and spread some more useful information, or possibly useless information. If you guys have any questions, feel free to just, write me in the comments. I'm pretty open, pretty easygoing guy. I try to get around to answering everybody's questions. I mean, I'm not a mechanical wizard, but I know a couple things, I guess, at this point. But yeah, I mean, crack at this today and see how it goes, and look for the next video shortly. Take care.